This 2011 Chevy Silverado has been heavily abused. The problem? The owner wants the damage undone and the truck looking brand new. Looking at all the dirt and filth inside, and it sure looks like this is going to be a case where the owner's expectations have departed from reality. Stay tuned to find out. Okay guys, well, getting to work on the pre-wash rinse here, and while this truck isn't anywhere near as money as the last truck I worked on from a couple weeks back, I know this one hasn't had a good thorough detail for a long time, if ever, so I'll have to be very diligent to not miss any dirt. But that reminds me, if you've ever wondered where all the dirt goes once it hits the floor, or wondered what my equipment setup is like, then you should really check out my studio tour video I did from a couple years ago. I walked through the entire studio and discussed all the finishings, my equipment, and most importantly, where all the mud goes from the vehicles I detail. Just search up Detail Geek Studio Tour and you'll find it. Moving to the wheel well, and thankfully for me, this generation of Silverado doesn't have the dreaded carpeted wheel well liners, so getting things sprayed out in here should be pretty quick today. Now as I start spraying underneath the truck, I just wanted to quickly remind you guys that the huge Detail Geek Black Friday sale is on for a couple more days, so head over to detailgeekautocare.com to check out the sale. You'll find the entire site discounted up to 30%, and it's without a doubt the best time to help support the channel and to get your holiday shopping done early with the super popular Detailer Starter Kit. Alright, well, since all the bugs didn't come off with the pressure washer, I'm grabbing some of my bug remover to finish the job, and honestly guys, this is just one of those products that makes my life so much easier. It works so incredibly well and is something I'd never want to detail without. Okay, getting started on these filthy WeatherTech mats, and the first step is to obviously dump off the clumps of mud and loose dirt, of which there was a lot. Next, I'll take the pressure washer and blast them as clean as I can, then agitate some APC with my drill brush before a quick rinse. Now, as I've shown in my videos, there's a few different methods you can use on floor mats like this, but I found this to be the best and most effective, though just know that WeatherTech mats do eventually get stained and won't always look brand new. Okay, turning my attention to the interior now, and because I've literally worked on dozens of these silver autos, I had the seats out in record time, and even seeing the mess I'm dealing with in here, I'm very confident that I'll have this truck looking incredible by the time I'm done today. Moving to the back carpet now, and I think it's pretty clear that the floor mats did a great job protecting the carpet in this truck. Thankfully, this isn't too dirty and won't take much effort to get perfectly clean. However, the seats are going to be another story because they're covered in dog hair. Okay, starting on that dog hair I mentioned a few minutes ago, and whenever I encounter it inside a vehicle, I'll always start with just the vacuum instead of immediately reaching for my lily brush, and that's simply because sometimes I get lucky and the type of hair and type of fabric are playing nice together, and the hair can easily be sucked away by just the vacuum, like in the case of this truck. Although it doesn't always work out that way, and that's exactly why I've got a dedicated pet hair removal tool like the lily brush. Now, as I finish up on the seats, I just wanted to quickly remind you guys to check out the Black Friday sale at detailgeekautocare.com because it's only on for a couple more days and you won't find better prices at any other time of the year. You can find all the products and tools that I use in my videos to transform vehicles, so if you need to detail your own vehicle or get your holiday shopping done, now is the time. detailgeekautocare.com. Okay, as I continue working on extracting the seats with my carpet cleaner, drill brush, and mighty extractor, I can't help but be thinking about all the other Silverados and Sierras I've done from this generation and how dirty some of them have been. There's a playlist on the channel for all the dirty work trucks, if any of you feel like binge watching them, but at this point, it feels like I could detail one of these trucks in my sleep. Moving down to the carpets now, and like I mentioned earlier, the floor mats did a good job protecting them, so they aren't all that dirty. Anyways though, I just wanted to say, in case some of you haven't seen the last couple of videos, that I am moving forward with making 2 new videos each month, though I will still be putting out a video every week. As you may have noticed, the in-between videos are going to be something different, whether that's real time, a quick fix, or maybe even something completely different if I feel like it. Either way though, there will still be content for you guys to watch every Friday. Here's the somewhat not so dirty water pulled from the Silverado today, which is still gross, but as for all that grass, well, I've got a bone to pick with that Yard Geek guy about that. Starting on the interior trim now, and for that I'll be using my best-selling all-purpose cleaner and of course my McCulloch steamer to get all the plastic perfectly clean and looking new again. This is a combo that honestly can't be beat, so just a reminder that I've got all the links to the things I use down in the description for you if you want to check them out. Okay, well, not to be forgotten are these insanely muddy pedals, which makes a lot of sense because the owner of this truck was out camping with it a little while ago at a local music festival, and judging by the rest of the truck, had clearly found himself in some mud. Of course, my approach here is basically the same as the rest of the interior. However, I do switch over to the brass brush attachment on the steamer as the bristles are stiffer and can get into the grooves of the pedals to lift out the dirt. Okay, starting on this rubber cup holder insert that's really dirty and sticky, and it honestly never ceases to amaze me at how well the combo of my Detail Geek APC and steamer work. In less than a minute, and with a little bit of scrubbing, this rubber insert will be perfectly clean and look brand new again. Okay, moving outside, and to bring some depth and gloss back to this tired red paint, I'll use my ceramic spray coating, which is super easy to use and apply, and will leave a nice, slick hydrophobic coating for many months, but more importantly, this truck is going to look absolutely incredible out in the sunshine. Alright, second last step before we check out how good this truck looks, and that's one of my favorite things to do with any vehicle: dress the tonneau cover. As usual, I'm using 303's aerospace protectant because it's just the best product for this purpose. Alright guys, well 11 hours later, and this 2011 Chevy Silverado is all cleaned up and looking better than ever, and the owner is sure to be thrilled with this transformation. Now if you guys enjoyed it too, make sure you smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and please don't forget to check out my other channel, The Yard Geek, and as always, enjoy the guitar troll, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.